Hello, this is 4.8, which is ASA and AAS. So AAS, as you probably could have figured out, is short for angle, angle, side. And once again, it's a shortcut to prove that two triangles are congruent. So similar to the last lesson, I'm going to show you two different triangles here. I made a purple one and a red one. And angle, angle, side is going to work if we have an angle, another angle, and a non-included side. So angle, angle, and a non-included side. Angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side. So I'm going to write that out. So if two angles and a non-included side are congruent, then the triangles are congruent. All right, angle, angle, side. The second one is angle, side, angle. And once again, it's a shortcut to prove that two triangles are congruent. So this one would look like this. It would be angle, side, angle. And we would obviously have to have the same thing on the other triangle. Angle, side, angle. So in words, this one would be if two angles and the included side included means between. So the side between. Then the triangles are congruent. All right. So let's look at some examples here. So in the first set, the question is, are the triangles congruent and why? So first thing we need to do is look for anything that we can add to the diagram. So are there any shared sides? Are there any vertical angles? Anything about midpoints? Angle bisectors, anything like that. And I tried to keep them pretty simple in this lesson, so hopefully pretty obvious. So what I see here are some vertical angles across from each other. So at that point, I'm just going to kind of label what we have. It looks like we have an angle, a side, and an angle in that order. And then on our second triangle, we have the same thing, angle, side, angle. Okay, so are they congruent? Yes. And the reason, angle, side, angle. All right, second example. Very first thing I notice is that we have this shared side. So this side right here is shared between the two triangles. So I'm going to mark it as congruent. And then I'm going to see what we have here. It looks like we have angle, angle, side, and angle, angle, side. So yes, those triangles are congruent by angle, angle, side. And it really doesn't matter that we have right angles on that example. All right angles are congruent, so it doesn't really change anything. It still works. And then example 3, these ones are not connected. So I am going to look at what we have. If we go in order, it looks like we have angle, side, and then we're like looping around over here and we have another side. Okay, so it's not a side angle side. It's not an angle side angle. It's an ASS, which is not a thing, and that's going to come up in the next lesson as well. It doesn't work. Okay, you have the same thing on the other triangle. You have angle, side, side. That's not one of our shortcuts, so we would just say not enough information. It's possible they're congruent, but we don't know based off of the tricks that we have if those are congruent or not. So we have two sides but a non-included angle, and that's not helpful. All right, and then for our last couple examples, what additional info do we need to prove the triangles are congruent by the given reasons? So in example 4, we are supposed to use angle, side, angle. So once again, mark anything that's obvious, that's given to us. So I see vertical angles, so we can mark them. If we want to use angle, side, angle, we need to have this side and this side so that we can do angle, side, angle, and angle, side, angle. So the piece of information that we need is we need this side here. So let's call it LC, side LC. It needs to be congruent to, what letter is that? I can't tell. BC. Okay, if we had that additional piece of information, then we could use angle, side, angle. All right, and then example 5, this time we want to use angle, side, angle, 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 side, AAS. So once again, I'm going to mark what we know. Looks like we have a shared side, so we can mark it. Looks like we already have angle P congruent to angle H, so we need another set of angles. And there's actually 2 different ways that we could do this one. We could mark this angle and this angle. So we could go angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. We could do it that way. So I'm going to start with that one first. So that would be angle HQR is congruent to angle PQR. Or we could do this angle as well. We could do this one congruent to this one. So we could do angle, angle, side, and angle, angle, side. Okay, so either one would work there. I think there might be one like this on your worksheet or maybe on the mastery check. So I just want to make sure you saw one. So that would be angle HRQ is congruent to angle PRQ. I'll slide this over a little bit so you can see it better. There we go. All right, so angle, angle, side, and angle, side, angle. Go ahead and get started with your practice.